Ta-da! Okay. In Italian. It's good evening to everyone. Look at that. Everybody's gonna learn a little Italian. I'm gonna force it on everybody. Okay, there's nothing like a little Italian, and I only know a little Italian, so that's all you're getting tonight. Hey, look, we got A and V here tonight. I was saying, is it my hometown where like Tuesday nights used to be like dollar night at the theater, $2 Tuesdays. Now it's like $20 Tuesdays since inflation or whatever. But I know that I appreciate y'all calling in tonight because I realize that we're competing with movies and whatever barbecues and whatever people are doing this um, weeknight. So a quick introduction here. I'm Gordon, and my full name, I can't even fit it on there because I got one of those complications. A Canadian father. I had a Canadian father and an Italian mother, so I'm Gordon Angelo Roberto Morton. And I am the chairman and CEO of an adventure you're going to hear about tonight. My partner right here that was introducing everything. You see, he's getting a furrowed brow, so the rest of us don't. He's worrying about all the zeros and ones coming together tonight. This dude is honestly the king of the NDA right now. I've never seen a man churn out. Dude, you need to go to law school. You could be making a profit center on the side here.
I know that some of you probably it's a little bit of a frustrating process right now because we're being really tight how we're keeping this. So we're going through the NDA process, and we appreciate everyone being patient with that. In the next couple of weeks, we think we'll move out of that phase of this journey, but we really appreciate your patience in going through that. We're very excited about what we have to offer, and we know a lot of you are as well. So we want to just keep it really tight right now. So thank you for your patience. Anyone that had any issues getting on tonight, or that we didn't quite get to the NDA process yet, know that we will for the next meeting. And please feel free to reach out via email, text, whichever way you can, to let us know if there's anybody that had issues. And we apologize for those issues ahead of time because we know that there's probably some, and that can be frustrating. But thank you for your patience with the process.
Right. Curtis is being really pretty gracious about this. He's been dealing with a lot of computer issues, and I'm grateful because if he's not computer guy, I'm computer guy, and I am a bad computer guy. So let's just say gratitude. He's our president and CIO, and I always do a crappy job on his CV. But let's just say the way that I view the world was different than Curtis in the last 20, 30 years of our lives. And he processes zeros and ones and was on the bleeding edge of affiliate marketing back when I was still calling it the information superhighway. So thank you, Curtis. He is our president and chief information officer, CIO. Next to him on the pitch deck, give a Heidi ho there, Ashley. You can wave.
Hi.
You look like all refreshed, Ashley. Did you have like a little like nap or something as you got home?
No, I just went home and I'm not cold anymore, so I'm good.
We like to keep the office like a meat locker around here.
There's a battle in the office about temperature, so it's cold or hot. It just fluctuates.
I'm running a little hot. Ashley is our VP of skincare. You're going to hear a little bit from her and a little bit from her in later in the call. But also, we put her in charge of digital marketing. I think it said web last week, right, Ashley?
It did. Yeah. We switched that real fast.
Created. Okay. Interesting. She's dabbling in those things, but her real forte is she's a certified organic skincare formulator. And my little brother Joe is not here this evening. We're double duties tonight, but I got a new announcement to make. Most people have seen this slide. We have just started today officially, but he's been here a couple days. I'd like to introduce. He's out in the hall right here, just drinking Red Bulls and trying to get it.
Come on in.
Adam, come on in for a second. By the way, the person on the left, that's tongue in cheek. They're going to be announced in 2 weeks. There's an inside joke there. This is Adam Blake. Adam Blake. Good Lord, Adam. How long we worked together? A long time.
Very long time.
Yeah. Adam started working with me. I met you when you were 18.
Yep.
Wow. Adam is, we're calling him Director of Strategic Initiatives. Today, it's going to maybe change tomorrow, the next day, whatever, but at the moment. And he is wedged between our CFO and our General Counsel. High praise indeed. Look, Adam, look at your photo. I made it to pitch deck. Adams, I gotta just say this for whatever this worth. People on the line that know Adam, maybe from a former life, he's one of the greatest human beings you'd ever get a chance to meet. I also happen to point out that his mother was employee number one at a company called Zango LLC in fall of 2002. Adam is officially the number first employee that we brought on. Oh, baby.
Love it.
Look at that. It's synergy. So we'll hear a little bit from Adam in a sec, but I'm actually going to have him present dynamic compression and also.
Do it. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing hire, by the way. Adam comes to us with a VP title from another direct selling company, and today he had the bittersweet of saying goodbye to certain folks and saying hello to us in this world. And you're going to see that he's going to be a quintessential member of our team. Also, he's very calm, and sometimes Curtis and I are not. Actually, you're more calm than I am. Actually, he's pretty calm. We welcome aboard. So welcome aboard, Ashley. Adam.
Thank you.
All right. Almost called you Ashley. Okay, let me show you a little something, by the way. This is a picture from our right outside, right behind Adam on the wall here is what our office looks like. We just have we have a few things on the walls. It no longer looks like the front from a mob operation, but we have some inspirational people on the wall, and I think they're kind of neat. I get to pass by them and on my way to my office, and so does Curtis and Ashley. And there's a Mahatma Gandhi quote that I love, and that sums up kind of what we're up to here with these little exploratory calls before we launch shortly. And that is Gandhi once said, okay, by the way, before he sent me a text, I'm not sure Gandhi really said that originally. I understand he altered some other quote. I'm attributing it to Gandhi. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. It's the most beautiful quote because right now we're going to talk about something that the whole world has kind of been ignoring for a long time. And when we started coming out of the gates, people are, oh my gosh, are you actually talking about that? And then we're like, oh my gosh, these guys are making a huge dent in this industry. And then we win. And that happens very fast. I've seen it before. This is the question that Curtis alluded to. This is the greatest question that happened last week. And I was like, hey, can I just buy OLIABO products and not build a business? I was like, well, of course. And thank you in advance. Of course, it's the whole point of being a business is this. And I'm just going to tell you this, and then we'll launch into things tonight. This is a picture of a customer that was in my organization many, many years ago at a company called Rich International. I had sponsored a guy named Ray Heron, who he'll hear from tonight, who sponsored a lady named Bonnie Hornsby, who put an ad in the paper talking about health benefits of a supplement. And this wonderful lady responded to the ad and said, hey, I have some arthritis. And this lady, Bonnie Hornsby, she was filling out an application form. And she's like, okay, I'll just fill it out for you. Last name, King. First name, Coretta. Middle initial, S. Oh, okay. Honey, if you're interested, you have a great personality, maybe you'd want to do this business too. And she's like, oh, I'm pretty busy. I have a career. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I educate about civil rights. Well, good for you. Well, maybe your husband might be interested in doing the business. Well, he passed away. And Bonnie said, oh, so did my husband. We're going to be good friends. Hung up the phone, opened up the paper and was like, oh my gosh. Coretta Scott King is the lady we just signed up in the organization. And anybody knows a little bit about their history. She is the widow of Martin Luther King. And I was like, this happened just the way I said it. I told Ray last night, you remember this whole thing? And he's like, I did a product training with Coretta Scott King. I'm here to tell you folks, through the course of this adventure we call OLIABO, we're going to talk to a lot of folks, and some of them are going to be great customers of ours, and we love them. We hug them. That's what we want. And I'm just going to kick off tonight with one. I got to know a lot about Martin Luther King because of that lady being in my organization. And there was a beautiful quote, and I think it says a lot because somebody, when we started this, I asked, what does this industry need? And there was a long, pregnant pause, and they said, love. And I thought that was pretty profound in 2025. Instead of hearing e-commerce and social media, and they said love. And so there's a beautiful quote, and Martin Luther King got quoted a lot, and but one of the ones that he rarely gets quoted on is he said, we are still determined to use the weapon of love. And I got to tell you, I'm sitting in the wonderful beehive state of Utah, and there was a bit of it was a fairly substantial crisis the state had, and you guys saw the news, and it affected many of us in this office. Every one of us was 1 degree of separation from something. And so I just say this, look, we have done a lot. We've been scrambling, and some of us have been carrying a lot of things. And I just wanted to acknowledge that before we go on. This company is built on dignity, respect, love, words that I think are missing in this society. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to move on to other things, but it's hard to follow Martin Luther the King on anything. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this little world, that is called OLIABO, introducing elegant nutrition. Now that is a phrase you don't hear, the 2 words you don't hear together, elegant nutrition. And what do I mean by that? If you're brand new to this call, if you're not, you're seeing some slides you haven't seen before. I think that there is a lack of sophistication in certain industries. And I'm telling you, nutritional science is a relatively young industry, and it is learning in leaps and bounds. But I think that there is a refinement from a brand perspective that I would like to say we are going to bring to this industry. So if you haven't seen this before, this is the name of our company. This is the name of our brand. And I like to say Italian purity meets American purpose. This will make a little more sense as we go forward. By Italian. By the way, imaging wise, you're going to see this going forward. I'm not going to say too much about this. These are images and a corporate image that we have created here, this building within this little group that you're talking to tonight on the call. I think it's a great little space of optimism in our historic world of marketing, and that's going to be the type of imaging you'll see going forward. And where does that all come from? Why does it look like that? Well, I just got to say, this is my mother. Before she immigrated to Canada many years ago, she was 21, 22 when she immigrated. And this whole thing, I got to give props to her. Guarda mia mamma. Grazie tante, mama. This is a little bit something I would sometimes joke and say my brother Joe and I are Olive Garden Italians. That's a little tongue in cheek, right? Because we were born on the North American continent with an Italian mother, but we're pretty thick as thieves. These are our relatives. These are our relatives. They have a phrase, this group of relatives that have in Italy, we do outrageous things in America, and they just shake their heads and they go, ha, America. And I think it's the funniest thing because we operate a little differently in America than we do in Italy, but you're going to hear a little bit about that. That's just pictures of my family there. So let me just launch into this tonight. The hardest thing to see is what is right in front of your own face. Many of us have been familiar growing over the years with a product called olive oil. Yeah, we generally regard it as something that's good for you. We know very little about what differentiates good from bad olive oil. Why is it extra virgin? This is a great question. There's either virgin or non-virgin in the world that I was raised in, and it's one or the other. It's cut and dried. You're going to find out that it's not the case that virgin olive oil means that it's a certain purity level. Extra virgin means that it's 100% olive oil. It is from the first press. It is cold pressed. It's never heated above a certain temperature. It is stored with a certain amount of care and dignity. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a picture of what extra virgin olive oil looks like the first few minutes of a press every fall in Italy. And it doesn't look like that when we get it. I was fortunate to get a serving of this many years ago when I was living in Italy. And it is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not familiar with the olive, it is probably one of the most revered fruits in the country of Italy. It's in a holy status, and I think most of us know in Judeo-Christian culture that it is kind of revered. And why? Why is it so mentioned? And we're going to talk about that, but we're not just talking about olive oil. I'm going to skip ahead. Here's our problem, and we have a solution. The problem is that what we are being offered here in America is not the best quality olive oil. It's not even the almost best. It is something that sometimes resembles olive oil, but true olive oil has a lot of health benefits. And if you could harness that green energy I showed you from that picture, that has to be filtered out, you could hold unbelievable health benefits. So this is our brand. We are declaring to the world that we are setting the nutritional olive standard. It hasn't been set before. There's an awful lot of things that have to happen for olive oil to be what it is. It has to be picked green. It can't be allowed to get blackened or darkened on the tree. There's nothing wrong with that. You get a much higher yield. It just doesn't have the nutritional value, and it shouldn't be called extra virgin. It has to be picked, washed, and pressed within 12 hours. That's a picky process. Now, here's where we get into where our opportunity is in a call like this. Where the world is like, oh, well, that was pretty good, to what we're about to drop on the world.
Yeah, let me jump in here, Gord.
Yeah.
So olives and olive oil, big whoop, right? Gordon's dropped a little bit of knowledge and information, but the reality is we're going to take you on a journey here. So go with us. The awareness gap. What does that mean, awareness gap? Awareness gap means what the general populace thinks about something and knows about something versus what is actually medically, scientifically proven now and technologically possible to extract out of that something. So for example, olive oil and olives. The world generally accepts olives and olive oil as a good, healthy thing. Put it on your salad, have a little bit here and there. It's good for you. That's about where the general populace stops in their knowledge and awareness of the health benefits of olives and olive oil. But in the last 10 to 20 years, fairly recently, the actual scientific studies and medical knowledge and the manufacturing processes to extract out different componentry from olives, olive oil, and olive leaf is actually off the charts in its health benefits and values and the possibilities. So we're going to take you on a journey so that we can take you from this low-level understanding of olives and olive oil and the health benefits. We're going to turn everybody into olives, olive oil snobs, and then we're going to show you an even better way to get that into your lives through the different products that we're having. So go with us on this journey so that we can educate you and help you understand what's going on and where we're going and the mind-blowing benefits that can come from this.
Thank you, Curtis. We have a quick capsule summary slide now. What used to be 5 slides is now 1 slide. And when I say a quick capsule summary, there's a bit of tongue in cheek. You're going to see why in a minute. But if you're new to the world of olive oil, let me just give you an executive summary. This is an executive summary here. Reviews and studies conclude that extra virgin olive oil helps prevent and lower the risk for type 2 diabetes. I'm going to say these big words because I'm not talking about my product. I'm talking about studies about olive oil, breast cancer, and other chronic conditions when it's part of a healthy dietary pattern like the Mediterranean diet. Here is the quandary. You go to Europe, all of us that have been to Europe realize that they still eat real cheese and they still drink wine with their meals and they have bread and pasta and butter. Like, oh my gosh, scandalous real butter. But here's the truth that they enjoy, that they enjoy a better level of cardiovascular health. They have a better mortality rate. By the way, if you don't, that's just code speak for death. There's 8 to 9% less death with the equivalent of a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil a day. In Tuscany, it's very common for people to start their day with a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on an empty stomach before coffee. Brain health, inflammation, and I finish with inflammation. This is not a complete list, by the way. There's gut health and everything, but is it much more efficient with 1 slide?
Yeah, I think so. One thing to note here, tomorrow, everybody that's got their email address in here, you'll all get an email that kind of highlights some of the terminology and words that we're going to present here. One of those things is high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. So you get an email tomorrow. Feel free to take notes, but you'll get an email tomorrow that has a few of these terms in it. So you can go dig deeper and learn more and educate yourself through your favorite AI tool or search engine or medical journal. But what we're talking about here, these stats are really significant, and these aren't from our studies. These are independent third-party studies from like, the American Medical Journal and from various large studies that are out there.
New England Journal of Medicine.
New
Sorry,
England-
all the sites fell off when I just
No.
finished this.
But this is just from a good quality extra virgin olive oil taken consistently over time. These are incredible stats just from a good quality extra virgin olive oil. And then you see that term high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. That's a new term we're introducing. That means a specific type of extra virgin olive oil that's been cultivated, harvested, processed to have a through the roof polyphenol count in that extra virgin olive oil. As most of you know, polyphenols are incredible antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other benefits. And so we're kind of taking on this arc. Extra virgin olive oil, incredible health benefits, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, and we're going to get into some other specific terminology and benefits now.
So here is the takeaway. The average Italian consumes 14 liters of high quality extra virgin olive oil per year. The Greeks 20. And I told you they enjoy some remarkable health benefits to do with that, including blue zones. For those of you who don't know anything about blue zones, now I'll just explain. These are places in the world where people live regularly to be above 100 years of age. So there are several of them in Italy, including one entire province that's a blue zone. And so look at those stats. And the average American consumes less than 1 liter of crappy virgin, not even virgin olive oil per year. So I'm telling you, folks, I think I'm a reasonably decent communicator and educator. But if I'm under the illusion that I'm going to take an average American from 1 liter of crappy olive oil per year to 14 liters of high quality or 20 like the Greeks, I think I'm out to lunch. So we're about to tell you what we're going to do on a grand scale. But first, here's a new word for you. This is a new word even to people who have been familiar with olives their whole life. Oleocanthal is a phytonutrient derived exclusively from olives. As a matter of fact, they didn't even have the word to describe it until early 2000s. And a sensory chemist in I don't know where he was from originally, Ashley, but he was in Sicily when he came to this moment of epiphany, right?
Right. Yeah.
Share that part.
Yeah. So again, his name's Gary Beacom. He was a sensory chemist, did an olive oil tasting in Sicily, was tasting different olive oils, came across one, and it gave him this burning sensation in the back of his throat. And he thought, who put an ibuprofen in my olive oil? Because it had the same effect or kind of feeling in the back of your throat that an uncoated ibuprofen or a chewed up ibuprofen would have. So yeah, he went on to research and developed this word oleocanthal and found it in different kinds of olive oils it's just so exciting. It is shown to have a lot of the same anti-inflammatory effects as ibuprofen, which is crazy. There's so many studies on this now that we're so excited to tell you this word.
It is an actual COX-1 and COX-2 inhibitor is what this sensory chemist discovered about this. And the nice thing, so there was a little of a test. The way that this came about, this is none of my material, by the way. This is all stuff that was taken from Brighter Minds. But this man discovered that when you add this extra virgin olive oil, high phenolic, high in oleocanthals, you get a burning or a kind of a peppery sensation in the back of your throat. That stimulated what Italians will describe as 3 coughs. You go, it's that little effect in the back of your throat that tells you that you've got this high phenolic content. So I told you we are raising the olive standard of health. One of the things that we're doing is standardizing the good from olives. We have 2 partners that have IP, intellectual property, on extraction that doesn't even exist in the United States or North America or South America. It exists in Europe, in the EU. They have been able to harness that green, bright green phytonutrient content that I showed in the one picture from the fruit. And then another group has been able to extract the phytonutrient value from the leaves. And together, we put the 2 together and we call it olivectin. You know, Don't Google it. It doesn't exist yet because we own the word. At least that's what the USPTO tells us. But we have relationships with both these extraction groups, and we're bringing it together in this one tight little formula. And look what we're doing. Again, I'm under no illusion that I can take people from 1 liter of crappy to 14 liters of high quality, but we can offer all of the benefits in a supplement. Introducing something we're calling Prima. Prima is a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. And look, we put it in these little soft gel caps. So they look like olives. And we colored them with the outside with chlorophyll so that they're light protective, because olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, will be protected from photo degradation. It's one of the things that you have to say if you're selling extra virgin olive oil, that you're protecting it from light damage. So we're saying pressing wellness to a whole new standard. Folks, you're about to see that most people are about to see, including everybody on this line, the full unveil of this. This is one of the last times you'll be able to see this in this form, because there's more stuff coming. But this is our secret sauce.
Yeah, let me be very clear on this and make sure we understand. If you go right now and you search on Amazon or Google for olive oil in a pill, right? You'll find some gel caps out there that have a very basic low-grade extra virgin olive oil in a pill. Extra virgin olive oil in quotes, because who knows? We've looked at those, we've tested those. I want you to understand that what we're talking about is fundamentally different than anything else that's on the market or that's been brought to market. We've been working on this for 7 or 8 months now. I've actually been into this myself for 2 years, since I was out in Italy in the Mediterranean and came across high phenolic extra virgin olive oil myself. So we've been deep into this. There's nothing that exists on the market that brings together a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that's high in oleocanthal and other specific polyphenol compounds. You might find a high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, but there's a massive difference in the low end and the high end. So we're sourcing a very specific high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. We're then sourcing very specific, unique extracts from the olive leaf and from the olive pulp. And we're combining all of those things together in an easy to consume daily form factor of a supplement. There is nothing on the market like it, and anything that you find is not even close to anything that we're talking about. So I need you to understand, nobody's putting these things together in this way with this kind of high quality sourcing. It's fundamentally different than anything that exists on the market today.
And when you consider what we're talking about here, a natural solution to things like inflammation, okay, nutritionally supports your body's ability to combat inflammation. That means that people that, okay, Ashley, can I lead the witness for a second here on clearly everybody can see Ashley here. She's a little bit thinner than me. And I think we've already determined Ashley weighs exactly more than half of what I weigh. But can you talk about a little bit about this, Ashley?
Yeah. So this is actually really huge with the oleocanthal and different components in these pills. I was taking probably 6 ibuprofen a day because I have a herniated disc. It was causing so much severe pain in both of my legs. And now, honestly, I'm down to 1 ibuprofen. I think it's in my head too. I don't think I really need this. It's just, I just think that I do. By taking these pills and using other products that we have, and we're excited to show you.
Yeah. And by the way, I probably should have put this out there. I can't take 6 ibuprofen. It freaks me out. But can you imagine? And Ashley's taking 6 ibuprofen and the damage that potentially she was doing to parts of her body. So
kidneys. Yeah, my kidneys were hurting, which that should not happen. Okay.
And so if the benefits of olive oil were limited to internal, it would be miraculous, and we do know this, or we do already know this. But the other thing is that it's one of these rare botanicals, and there's a few out there that have transdermal or topical benefits as well as internal benefits. And you think about things like aloe vera. You can take aloe vera internally, and you can use it on your skin. Or mangosteen is one from my previous life that I was familiar with. This is one of those rare botanicals that has topical benefits, antimicrobial. It's the original hypoallergenic product. if you go to old school pharmacies in Italy, hypoallergenic section is olive-based products. So there is, Ashley, I'm going to let you do this one. Introducing Viso Lux. By the way, Ashley is very youthful looking. One of the secrets to her youthful looks is the fact that she's about to talk to you about it. So go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, one of the things I love doing, and it's just been a routine since I was younger, is making sure my face looks really hydrated. I've actually been putting oil on my face, and where I can see my smile lines, they're not crow's feet, they're smile lines, where I can see different things in my face changing. And so when you hit 30, your natural oils in your face start depleting. And so we found that a lot of components through the olive tree mimic your own natural oils in your face. And that's how Visolux actually came about. So there's a few key ingredients that help fade your fine lines. It's so hydrating, and it leaves this beautiful sheen on your face to give you such a youthful glow as well. Yeah, it's so good. Such a good product.
Ashley, can I lead the witness?
Yes.
What else are you infusing it with?
I forget this. So there is this beautiful little ingredient that does give it this sheen that gives you this beautiful glow, and it is called mangosteen seed oil. Yeah, it's just this great little ingredient we've just discovered or something.
You'll hear more about this in the future, but it's basically a full court press on aging. We're going to punch aging right in the face. There will be 2 more products coming out before Christmas. Viso, by the way, Viso just simply means face in Italian. There will be a cleanser because naturally olive has natural surfactants, and also a moisturizer, and also it's a natural emollient hydrator. But Viso Lux, Viso Cleanser, Viso Moisturizer together will be offered in a package we call Treviso, which also happens to be my mom's hometown. It means 3 faces in Italian because there used to be a statue of a man with 3 faces protecting the town. I actually have a cup from Treviso right here that some artisan made with the 3 faces on it. I just brought it into the room tonight for demo. One more product on the topical front. We will be launching with Prima, the little soft gel caps for internal, and we will also be launching with this, which we're calling Flex. It's a joint and muscle rub. We say light natural ibuprofen from Mother Nature's kitchen. We're challenging people to go ahead and flex. Who wants? Ashley, why don't you talk about this one? This is your baby as well.
So at the beginning, when I was talking about taking 6 ibuprofen and the different elements I've been using or products I've been using, this is one of them. So we have found that this olive oil mixed with a few other components, you can use this transdermally and put it on your body wherever you want without just the bad effects of ibuprofen, because no one wants that. No one wants kidney damage. No one wants any of that. So this is actually really, I use this every day. One story about this is I was talking about having a herniated disc, having severe pain in both of my legs. I put it on my really badly hurt leg all over it because I'm like, I'm testing this product, let's see if this works. And about 5 to 10 minutes later, my other leg was in so much pain. And I was like, man, what is happening? What did I do to my other leg? And what I didn't realize is my right leg, Flex was working on it. It was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. So yeah, this is a game changer, and there's not a product like this, olive oil based, that's so good for you and your body and hydrating. And I can't wait for you to try this one as well.
So is getting to too is that it's targeted, right? So when you take an ibuprofen and or any sort of anti-inflammatory or COX-1, COX-2 inhibitor, I don't know, in my brain, I wonder, it just runs around your body looking for what's sore. And it's like, oh my goodness. But in this case, maybe it does. I don't know. So if you take this and you topically rub it in, for me, I have arthritis in my thumbs. age is just a number, but my number is 58 right now at this point in my life. And it came with some arthritis in my thumbs. I like to play guitar. That's an unacceptable problem to have. I take this, I can put it on my thumbs, and within usually about 5 to 6 minutes, I can feel it's like a warm feeling on my thumbs, and the discomfort dissipates. We have set what we're declaring is the olive standard. There are so many areas that are being ignored in the world of marketing of olive oil that we will be educating about. When you're starting a brand like we are doing, it is the burden of education that earns you credibility. It also earns a potential ability to build a tremendous ability to build a business. You're going to see all of our products will have a seal of approval. There is a character from Roman mythology named Minerva, and you see her appear in depictions in art. She is the goddess of war, the goddess of wisdom, and responsible for gifting the olive tree to the planet.
Yeah,
it's a nice story.
It's a great story, and I hope you're starting to kind of see this arc of what we're doing here, right? We're not just grabbing some off the shelf product at the manufacturer that we could just spit out there. We're not just grabbing some clip art from any old website that we're throwing up there. We're creating a brand. We've got an incredible story that's meaningful to each of us. The Morton brothers, obviously, with their Italian heritage, me and Ashley and others on the team with personal experiences we've had with olive oil. The imaging, the products are wholly unique and have never been brought to market like this before. We put a lot of energy and effort into this to bring this all together and to really do something unique in the space. And we know that the best way to roll out unique products and a unique, incredible story, a story that's, this story of olives and olive oil is essentially as old as time, right? But it's never been properly told and never could be properly told until recently because we didn't know medically and scientifically all these incredible benefits. And the best way to tell that kind of a story and to share these kind of unique products is through network marketing and through incredible partners like yourselves getting out there and telling this story.
It's true. And let me just, before I introduce that, eccolo qua.
Hey,
Mio fratellino Giuseppe. Joe,
I went downstairs. I couldn't
he got locked out.
Yeah.
Joe got locked out. Adam got locked out. After a certain time in this building, it locks out if you don't have this thing. So, welcome, Joe. I'm gonna talk to you just briefly about something because we're gonna make an announcement about a call this Thursday, an important announcement. We've been hearing a lot of things about folks are asking a lot of questions about how compensation will work in this new machine. By the way, our young Adam Blake here comes to us with a plethora of experience when it comes to calculating commissions based on nutritional supplements. Adam, maybe just give a quick executive summary before I jump into this about some of the areas you've worked on in the industry.
Yeah. So I've been in network marketing now for almost 23 years. Started with Zango, as Gordon mentioned, when I was 18, and transitioned to a different company now for the past 8 years. Before I actually started a corporate, I was a distributor in the field. So I've kind of had a little bit of both sides of it, the distributor side, but also the corporate side. My passion is the corporate side and helping people not only in their health and wellness, but also in wealth and coming up with ways and new strategies that they can start to build their teams. And so that's been one of my passions most recently. So my most recent position and role was VP of sales. And so I was traveling all over the world, meeting with teams in South Africa, Europe, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, you name it. But yeah, that's really my passion, is just helping people. And this is something that I really enjoy.
I actually threw it at him like, what's the most complicated thing I could ask Adam to present on tonight? And I was like, dynamic impression. He's like, yeah, sure. I was like, you got to realize the air is thin where that soundbite comes from. So sorry, Joe, I didn't want to cut you off.
I just wanted to say, Adam, I don't know if there was anything you haven't done in the industry. You've done everything.
Yeah, I mean, videography, and the videography thing actually started because I was doing all of the AV stuff at Zango, and we started doing a lot of calls, and then they turned it into webinars, and this is back before Zoom, and it was through GoToMeeting, so we literally would set up a little flip camera to do the meeting with, And then Joe challenged me. He said, can we make the video quality a little better? And then I just started doing research and learning videography. And that transitioned to me doing all the corporate videos for Zango for the last, 4 or 5 years.
Easily.
And eventually events too.
And Charlie and Ray, you'll be pleased to know he got his first hole in one a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
absolutely. Thank you.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever got a hole in one,
Nope.
Curtis?
No.
I will sigh.
Air's pretty thin. Air's
Yeah,
pretty thin.
exactly. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make an announcement here that on Thursday, we'll send it through the channel. There will be an unveiling of the first presentation really en masse of the compensation module. Part of it is because there's a certain amount of programming that has to be done and a surety that it's going to be calculated the way that we want. And for those of you who just are excited about being a customer, that's amazing. And that's why we're going to have a separate call about compensation. But I will show you a little something. We are calling our comp model Premio Pay by OLIABO. And I'm saying it's the power of simplicity. You know, one of my favorite pieces of art in the world is the David in Florence, and created during the Renaissance of Italy in the 1500s by Michelangelo. You stand in front of this thing, and I think the beauty of it is the simplicity. The story of David, as we all know, is I don't think he was actually naked in the story, but in the statue, he's naked as the day is long, and he goes against a giant with nothing more than a slingshot. I think that's pretty bad, eh? And my takeaway is that there is power in simplicity. You do not have to have complication to be able to earn income. It shouldn't be. There is a simple rule of sales, the KISS system. I have never quizzed Curtis on this, but have you ever heard of the KISS system?
I have.
Okay. And it is keep it simple, salesman. Okay. And for positive people, right? Premio Pay is our manifestation of that. And we are going to be launching this on Thursday. Thanks for the thumbs up. It is essentially, if you're looking at this going, how am I everybody can do 3. It's essentially based on me plus 3. Most people will know not only is this product going to have benefit for myself, but I probably think of 3 people who it could benefit. And essentially it takes off from there. Now it's there's more to it than that, but basically that's it. And I think you're gonna fall in love because Curtis's background is in affiliate marketing. He dealt with organizations that were, for lack of a better term, pancake organizations. It's a person online selling product to an unlimited number of frontline customers. Good executive summary, Curtis?
Yeah.
Okay. And that is an industry that keeps it simple. They also dream small. Okay. That's their problem. I traditionally, in the industry that Adam has spent years in, and Joe, is direct selling, and they dream big, but sometimes they keep it complicated. So dream small. Okay. That's the funny thing. Dream small, keep it simple. Dream big, keep it complicated. What if you fuse those and add in a reward to offer pancakes to pyramids? I don't know, like nobody likes the word pyramid, but I'm just going to use it on this call. Okay. That's what you're going to see on Thursday. There will be reward trips. The problem with affiliate marketing, they've said historically, is, you know what, this is really nice, but nobody takes us on reward trips yet. And then the other thing they say is nobody trains us yet. We are going to offer a bridge between the two worlds. And so the whole OLIABO package will be a system, a model, and an ability to make income. And I'm going to quote my little brother who was here, came in just recent minutes here. In fall of 2002, we launched Zango, and it was a year after 9/11. And it was a dark time in America. And there was, I think I'd say it this way, our ego was a quart or 2 low. And I think we offered a little optimism in that regard, at least in our opportunity. After a few months, people started earning checks from the comfort and safety of their homes. And my little brother stood on stage and said, "Hey, it's safe to dream again." So I quoted him 3 weeks ago. I created this slide and I said, "It's safe to dream again." Again. Get it? Oh, that's funny. All right. I don't know who wants to tell this one. Ashley, do you want to announce the platform for those who might not know about this?
So if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, we're going to be posting different upcoming events, different things that are going to happen with the company. Just because we can't, do a Zoom like this every day, even though we wish we could. We want to keep you informed and keep you on top of things. So if you want to follow us, it's oliabo.official on Instagram and TikTok, and then Facebook is just Oliabo Official. So if you want to scan those, if you want me to, what I can do is, if you just search for us, you'll find us.
And these will also be going out in the email that we'll go out to each of you tomorrow as well. The links to each of these will be in that email.
Excellent. Joe.
And actually, there's a really nice video on there that if you haven't seen it, everyone, I think we played it last week on the call, but
Yes.
if you haven't seen it, it's on like Instagram. Just go grab it on Instagram and just share it. Just share it. We've noticed that people are sharing it, of course. But if you haven't seen it yet, go there and then share it.
Yeah.
Get the word out.
Yeah.
It's Gordon's voice. It's a great video. And in fact, I was with someone just last night and they were like, well, I saw that video. That was great. And he said, it was so good to hear Gordon's voice. And it was really cool.
I have relatives that are not even in nutritional supplements or and they're like, they shared it. I go, why would you? That's very nice. Actually, how many people, we're not, the only people that know that this social platform exists is y'all. Ashley's like, how many people viewed our
first one? We have over 2,500 views, just that alone. So if you want to go on, it's the first one that's posted on our main page. And then you'll also see something that was posted today and see kind of a familiar face that maybe is on this call. Just maybe like a cartoonier version of him. I don't know. You'll see. I guess if you go look, you'll see.
It looks like, okay, it's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It took me a second. I thought, sorry, before, hey, we're going to turn time to Ray for a second, but.
You mind? Do we want to do, I always feel like we should do that at the end. We should do questions and stuff.
Nobody wants to follow Ray, but
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. Okay.
I feel like we should do Ray.
Just blowing smoke up his skirt. I bet, okay.
Ray to send us out. So.
First of all, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
He's muted right now, so he can't say anything anyway.
I can speak.
Does that sound good, Ray? We'll let you take us out after we do some Q&A real quick.
Yeah. Well, I would say this before we turn it over to Q&A, folks. I thank you for having patience with us. This, Ray and I were talking about this. Do we open it up to some pre-market discussion? And I think it was worthwhile. There is an educational journey that the world is about to get exposed to this fall. And there are some category creating folks on the line here that have taken the responsibility to shoulder the education burden. So thank you, folks. Thank you for that. So should I take it off share mode so we can, or do you want me to leave it on that?
That's fine. Take it off share mode. That's fine.
Okay. I'm taking it out.
You can set up your screen share. So got a couple questions. If anybody else has some other questions, please put them in the Q&A chat. There's a couple that we can tackle right now. One thing I want to point out before I jump to the questions. So you will be getting another email tomorrow that will invite you. So anybody that signed an NDA at this point, including those that we might not have been able to get all the way through the process. But to clarify, everyone on the email list at this point will get an invite to a Thursday evening meeting where we will go over the initial reveal of the compensation plan. So if tomorrow afternoon / evening you have not received that invite for Thursday evening, please spread the word and get the word to us so that we can get that invite to you. So that will be the first reveal of the compensation plan, which will be Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So we'll send those invites out tomorrow. So one of the questions is, how does the product affect diabetes? I would suggest it has some really great benefits, and you can dig into that yourself if you search some of the terms that we'll send out in the email. Search some terms like high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, oleocanthal, some of the different terms that will be in that email in relation to diabetes, and you'll get a wealth of information that breaks that down. but it does have some pretty incredible
The
effects there.
Renaissance.
I can say also both extracts have studies that are linked.
Yeah, and so I'd say similar with any of the other kind of health benefit stuff, there is a wealth of information out there. That's one of the beautiful things about this and that awareness gap that we're talking about. Anything like kidney benefits or other things that some people are asking about, just do in your favorite AI assistant or your search engine or medical journal that you follow or use, type in some of these terms: high phenolic extra virgin olive oil, kidney function, oleocanthal, inflammation, like
Category
different combinations like
creator
that, and you'll get crazy
and
amounts of medical
market
information.
disruptor.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's this massive gap of knowledge and awareness. And then the product componentry that we're putting together to make it easy for people to get that into their lives, it's going to be incredible, both from a health benefit standpoint and from the financial opportunity that it provides for us. All of us.
No pun intended.
Yes.
But
Samples. So some people have asked about samples. We mentioned a couple weeks back. Right now, we've been doing some samples, but it's a very manual process that we're just doing with our small team. And so we don't have the bandwidth right now to really focus on getting samples to everybody right now. Once we get more into the manufacturing process, we'll have more samples and it'll be easier. But right now we're having to make those by hand. And really, we need to focus our energy on driving forward the product, getting all the other pieces in place so that we can launch this thing. Right?
by the way, I'm looking out the window, like the door right here. There's a desk that is just this big thing of samples. We've been cranking on it as much.
But just to be straightforward, we can't right now get samples out to everyone. We just don't have the bandwidth to do so. But once we get into the manufacturing stream, we will be able to have an opportunity to make that easier to get access. So everyone needs to be patient with that, and we can only put so much time and energy into that versus getting things off the ground and going. So hope you can understand that, and we appreciate your patience. So timetable. Let me break down. So timetable, this is essentially, this is not set in stone, but this is what we're aiming and targeting towards. So within the next couple of weeks, our goal is to open up an actual sign up form and get you back office access so you can start building teams in the actual back office. No, you won't be doing pre-orders, nothing else like that, but it will allow you to get into the system and start building for those who would like to join us in that journey in the building of the business. Then when we're approximately about 30 days out from having product ready to ship, so we think sometime in October, we will do a pre-launch, which would be opening up pre-orders, right? So this audience and those who join us on the initial journey and getting signed up will have the first chance at pre-orders, which would get you first in line to then when we start shipping product, which we expect to be sometime in November. So these are the timelines we're aiming towards. And everyone on the call here that is on the email list, you'll be notified of these things and have the opportunity to take part in those things as it happens. Pricing, we're dialing in the pricing right now. So we're getting close to what the price points will be as we finalize the formulations on the manufacturing. So we're getting close on what those price points will be. Let me see here.
We've been teasing on some of those,
Yeah.
by the way. We're pretty close. We don't want to make a general announcement like this, but some of you, we've been onesie-twosie on some of the prices on these sort of things. It's going to be in line with some of the numbers that we've been talking about. We're going to have a full, we're so close. We're so close to making a fairly, by the way, there's surprises that even Ray doesn't know about. I'm telling you, that is very hard for me to do. Okay, if you know how long I've known Ray, Ray has a way of disarming me and usually has me I'm like, oh, dang it, Ray, freaking 11:30 at night. Keep it out of your hat.
So I will say this about price points. We will be in line with similar unique premium products that are wellness products. These are wholly unique products. There's nothing out there on the market that exists like the products that we've revealed to you today and others that we have slated for next year. And we will be in a similar price range that other unique premium products in the wellness space sit. And so
that sounds like corporate speak. I know it does. It is. And okay, I'm not disrespectful.
We're going to be.
No, it sounds like corporate speak, but Curtis, that's a nice way of saying, I actually know this industry quite well. I think we hit the price point. I told Ray, and he's like, That sounds about what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a horrible Ray impression. I'm losing my voice tonight.
Right, normally.
I used to.
Let me burn through a couple of these other ones. So vision for international markets. So we are focused on an NFR strategy. That means not for resale, which means essentially we're shipping product from the US to international markets. We'll open those up as quickly as we can to ones that make sense. Initially, we'll probably launch with Canada and maybe a few other opportunities, maybe some locales in Europe and some other places. We'll as we get closer to full launch, we'll let you know. But essentially, that will give opportunities for people to order and receive product in international markets and to do some building international markets without us having to go through the rigmarole and the cost and the time of getting boots on the ground in those markets. We need to be careful from a regulatory standpoint. We're going to do things in a very good way that is keeping things on the up and up, but we're also going to do things in an efficient and effective manner for the business and to get product out there as much as we can internationally.
And this is one of the reasons why somebody like Adam makes a big difference, because Adam, like, did you hear his CV before he just started talking? Well, Adam, since you were 18, you've grown up, and it's just freaking me out. But like the fact that you were over international markets and NFR programs and OTG on the ground, he just brings a wealth of knowledge to the table, and that's helpful.
Absolutely. I
Right?
got a lot of our products registered in Canada. It's a long process of going through, and
We're a complicated
NFR,
nation.
yeah, NFR is definitely a lot easier to do, a lot easier to move into markets with.
And we will be doing just that too. Joe's wearing a Toronto hat, so we're clearly motivated not to make a mess up in Canada.
So products that we will be launching with is Prima and Flex, potentially Viso as well, but definitely Prima and Flex are the first two that we're going to be focused on. And then we've got other products lined up that we haven't revealed yet for further down the road. But we're not gonna have hundreds of products, right? We're very focused on olive tree derived products. That's the story. That's the incredible opportunity. That's where we're gonna focus, right? Let's see. Can someone who signed the NDA but hasn't seen the presentation be on the comp plan Zoom? Maybe, but really baby steps. It's probably better for them to understand kind of what we're doing before they jump into that. But
Well, that puts way too much pressure on me. I'd say, whatever, but
not ideal.
I think it's just going to cause confusion. The confused don't buy products. This is my little quote. The confused don't buy products. You probably make more questions than you want to deal with.
Sign up costs, all that stuff. We're still refining what that looks like. But initially, for these initial, you as the initial group, and kind of coming in early, we're looking at not even thinking about those kind of things right now. So we hope that you will join us on this journey and you'll get in a very easy way. And I think that is first trip. Well, the first trip, I don't know. You want to?
Yeah, let me just say that. I'll riff about this one. That's a great question. You saw that slide that said trips. Well, I'll segue. How about I introduce Ray with that discussion of
That's great.
trips, eh?
Let's do it.
Okay, I've been on I love trips. Guys, I would marry trips. Trips are amazing. When you're scraping snow in February in Salt Lake City, Utah, or Shelburne, Ontario, Canada, all you do is dream about trips. Okay, when you can take a group of folks that are passionate about a product, and you can take them out of their normal place, and you take them to some place, with a different type of beauty in it and an understanding of product, I think it not only becomes transformative, but also becomes something that you remember for the rest of your life. There's a couple of experiences I've shared. I think my favorite trip of all time I was on it with Ray. There was a moment, Ray and may or may not have been driving a Ferrari, and there's a little videotape that appears and my wife's like, "When are you coming back?" And Ray's like, "I'll call you next month." And it was just this great experience. My buddy Ray, who's here, he's in his home in Sutton's Bay. You're in Sutton's Bay right now, right? You're not up at Malachi? Yeah, okay. So I've been in that house. I was like 30 years ago. I've been in that house, Ray. Like,
right.
That, crazy, eh? That's crazy, but
Sure.
I've known Ray an awful long time. He's been an amazing mentor to me. I have had the very, 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 very good fortune of once sponsoring Ray. He was frontline to me. It was like maybe my greatest sales moment ever. Convincing my wife to marry me. second to that was probably signing up Ray from like to be in another company. But tremendous wealth of knowledge. You'll notice that his accent is not from Michigan originally. He is from a suburb of Texas called Oklahoma. And his accent, if he does his job right, he'll get us, all of us speaking normal here very shortly. But he has achieved the highest levels of success in this industry in the field. And he happened to have known several of the mentors that I had in business and in the world. I was friends with my parents before they passed. I'm happy to say I'm friends with his wife. With the amount of trouble that Ray and I we've caused our families in the world of business, I'm surprised that Cheryl hasn't choked me out at some point. So grateful to Cheryl. But hey, Ray, why don't you send us off tonight, brother? Wait, Chris.
I apologize,
Wait,
Ray.
sorry.
One other thing. I forgot. I want to share this and show this real quick. Sorry.
No
This is
problem.
Visual. I apologize. Let me get the camera refocus on me. It's all about me. Okay. These vials. Can you see these vials I'm holding up here, everybody? They're both clear glass vials. The one that looks more clear is just I grabbed this extra virgin olive oil out of my cabinet. This one is a high quality, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil that is through the roof in oleocanthal and other polyphenols. Just that visual difference is pretty striking. So it's important to understand there's a massive range of quality when it comes to olive oil, let alone high phenolic extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to simplify that for you and make it easy to get it into your daily life topically and internally. Ray.
Thanks. Ray, by the way,
Yes.
I'll say one last thing because you were the first phone call I made when we were going to do this. And we started talking, and both of us were talking about being a little bit uncomfortable with the state of the industry and what it had devolved down to. Me particularly, Ray is very Christ-like and very calm. I generally get to be like a little bit animated, and I was like, there's things have gotten ridiculous in the industry. It kind of became like it became funky with bad decision makers and bundles of dying companies being thrown together with no order or finesse, and people are supposed to be excited about it. And I'm not disrespecting the state of the industry, but I was like, Ray, I think I got an idea. And I started spitballing with him, and that's what got us to this point right here. So I don't just spitball at anybody. Ray, I hope I didn't miss anything important, but I'd love if you just kind of distill your country boy wisdom to this group tonight.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Gordon. Can everybody hear me all right?
Oh, yeah.
Loud and clear.
Excellent.
Welcome to my home, everyone. I'm delighted to be here. And Gordon, thank you so much. I mean, hey, as I've said before, you had me at hello for lots of good reasons that I'll explain here in a moment. Guys, and when I say guys, Ashley, I'm including you. You're one of the guys, okay? The best looking guy, but you're one of the guys. I'm not being critical. I'm suggesting. This little teaser video that you did, Gordon, that Joe alluded to, that's one of the most spectacular works that I've seen in my entire 40-year career of doing network marketing. It speaks straight to the heart. It's that good. So I'm going to encourage you, don't ever miss sharing that with everybody that's listening to the message of OLIABO. I mean, it's so wonderful. And again, I'm not being critical, just suggesting. If anybody else agrees with me, just throw me some hearts up here. I mean, I can tell you, I watch it. I watch it every day. It's a major inspiration to me. And everybody that watches it, that I send it to, I mean, they comment like, man, I've just never seen this. What is it that's coming? So anyway, enough said about that.
Ray, we can call. You're calling an audible. I'm just going to transfer it to Curtis, and we can send off that if you like, brother.
Oh, that would be super. When I get through, just let's go out with that thing. It is that good. Love it, love it, love it. Everybody, look, I don't know where you've been, maybe for the last, at least for me, for the past 8 years. I've said it many times, probably say it many times more. I've been wandering in the desert for 8 years since my last Zango days. I've had moderate success in a few things, but I'm not accustomed to moderate success. Many of us, myself included, we know how to do this. We just need the right vehicle, and I've been unable to find it. Wandering around out there, and like I said, when Gordon called me, had me at hello. These Morton boys, they mean a lot to me, a whole lot. I love them. I've known them for about 35 years, long before even Zango. And so I hope I don't sound arrogant to any of you listening to me, but I'm going to say this and know that I'm very sincere when I say it. I've never had the opportunity to join in a business venture where I already know what the outcome is going to be. I know what this is going to be. It's going to. This is my last ride. I'm not a young guy. My last ride. And I know what the future is going to look like for myself, this family, and all of you listening to me tonight. This is the thing that you look for. You look for this. These guys, all of them. I love this executive team. Yeah, I told you how I feel about the Morton boys. They very comfortable in this space, very creative people, and they've got great business acumen. They've been there before, done it in an awful big way. Zango really was the poster child of how to properly run a network marketing company for a decade and a half, for a long, long time. So, I know what the future is going to look like, and many of you are going to duplicate the success that you had before. Probably multiplied by 10. That's what I think. This will be the biggest opportunity of my career, and I don't want any of us to get caught doing less than we're capable of doing. We're going to have a very unique product. It's way more than olive oil. Don't go away here thinking we're going to have the very best olive oil in the world, but that's one of the components of this thing. There's a couple of things that I know that's never going to change. People say the industry's changed, and perhaps it's changed. I'm not convinced that it's changed. I'm just convinced that people are looking for brand new, shinier, smarter, quicker ways to build these. Well, I only know this. The whole world always has been, always will be looking for natural shortcuts to better health and looking to make more money. I tell you, we got the answer to those two things. Those are major questions. Always looking. My mentor, Mr. Jim Rohn, said, guess where disease is? He says it's always pushing right up against whatever you've got planned to keep it away. I think OLIABO is a fabulous plan. Am I saying it cures all diseases? Not saying that. But when those words that Curtis gave you look those up and you look at the science for what we're about to deliver to the public that's looking for this very thing. It's impressive, extremely impressive. Here's a small testimony. To me, it's a great testimony. I'm not a young guy. I've got a pretty big place here with lots of decking, wood decking. You can't hire anybody to do that in this small. I live in a beautiful little tourist community, and most people that come here, they're just here on vacation. You can't get anybody to do any work, so you have to do it yourself. I like my decks to look nice. And this past week, I only had 1 week of samples, and I hand brushed, not rolled, hand brushed over 7 gallons of exterior stain. I can show you some pictures. It's kind of impressive. I mean, I look back. It's never, it's interesting to step back and admire your work, but I loved it. It looked beautiful. I was happy the whole time I was doing it, working with these earbuds you see right here, working on the phone, talking to people about OLIABO, and just painting away. And I had absolutely no stiffness of my joints, very, very flexible. And I thought, that's really strange, because I was on my hands and knees, contorted in all sorts of ways, just painting away and having a great time, feeling really good. I don't know why I've slept much better that week, but I did. I certainly did. I'm out of product, not sleeping as well last night, Joe. And so that's my small testimony. And that's not even what we would call the full Monty, the product that's coming our way. That's part of it. So I expect people are going to get fabulous results with this. Let me just remind you, you get one chance to be early on with something that the rest of the world is going to love. And that's where we are. I look here, you probably don't have the advantage of this, but there's 120 people here listening to us tonight. Let me encourage you. Let me encourage you. Boy, every time, we only have a few more weeks of these Zooms, guys, and then we're out the door and running. So time is precious. We're at the right place at the right time. I know that's corny. You've heard that before, but it's the absolute truth here. Absolutely don't do less than you're capable of doing. Nothing new under the sun. Make your list. Hey, make it 25 strong. We all know 25 people we got a personal relationship with. Get them an NDA. Get them on these Zooms. With 120 people, we should triple that next time we do a Zoom. This thing is everything I've ever hoped for. I mean, I love this executive team. Adam, I'm so glad you just joined us. I think the world of you. We worked together for a long, long time at Zango. And, Gordon and Joe, I mean, these guys are just the best, known them forever. I have learned to really, really like Curtis Fulmer. He's whip smart, and he's just always there if I need him. Ashley, she's cute as a bug, okay? And she's probably twice as old as you guys think she is, and that would probably make her about 32, She has this beautiful complexion. I mean, the ladies and the guys all over the world are going to love to hear from her, and everybody's going to want to have that kind of complexion. So we got a magic team here building. We really should give this everything we got. That's how you win at this. Just give it everything you got. Jim Rohn taught me 40 years ago the secret. He said, just find the right company at the right time. Network marketing, he was referring to. Most people don't know this, Gordon. Maybe you don't. Jim Rohn was the third largest distributor in the Herbalife Corporation. Nobody didn't really know that. He was training all the distributors and stuff, but he's a true network marketer and probably one of the very first.
All right.
He said, you find the right.
Larry Thompson, do you know? Was he
Pardon me?
below? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I forget. It's a whole call. I'll talk to you. Yeah, you're right. I was just going to say, was he under Larry Thompson, but it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Yeah. In fact, he was indeed. And, Larry did some great training. They were all Jim Rohn stuff. It didn't matter. We all borrow this stuff from somebody else. I'm not the author of anything. And other than teach you maybe how to go from poor to rich, we got the answer here, and we got the formula for that. We got the company for that. And Jim Rohn said, find the right network marketing opportunity at the right time. Build your business 90 days like your life depended on it. You all know my story, dead broke, with a family that I love more than anything, just wanting them to not have to duplicate the life that I had lived growing up without money. So I gave it everything I had. I didn't know any better. For 90 days, I gave it all I had. And my goal was to make $5,000 in my third month. And I succeeded in doing that. Never, ever looked back, and went on to make an awful lot more money than that. It took me from poverty to fortune. Hopefully you're not in poverty tonight on this call, but if you need things to happen in your life, I'm telling you right now, tonight, just remember it. OLIABO, I believe, is the answer. These guys, you've only seen the tip of the iceberg of what they have planned for this company. Courtney and I do have some late night talks, and it's going to get gooder and gooder. I promise you. That's Oklahoma speak for better and better. I'm so delighted. I recognize a lot of names on this call, friends of mine. We worked hard together. We traveled the world together, had some fun. Let's just duplicate that again. Don't miss this one, please, please. And tomorrow, in fact, do it tonight. Make that list, 25 of your closest friends, people that would people that would at least listen to the story because they know you. That's how you're going to get this going. And let's work hard. Let's work crazy. Let's just pretend, even if it doesn't, that our life depends on it for the next 90 days. And I promise you'll be well on your way to building a giant of a business. I couldn't be happier. I'm so thrilled to be here. I've been looking for it for 8 years. And here it is. And I'm not about to treat it with anything less than the most intensity that I can deliver to it. I'm your number one fan. I'll always be here for you. Looking forward to traveling the country when it's needed, doing some meetings with you, having a great time. Hey, I could run on forever about how I feel about OLIABO. I'm thrilled, guys, and thrilled to be a part of this thing and thrilled to be working with those of you. Let's just build it strong. This industry, the people are looking for OLIABO. They've experienced what I have for the past 8, 10 years, or however long it's been. We're looking for something real. We're looking for people that we can trust. I trust these guys. I know how they'll treat me. I know how they'll treat you. And they care a great deal about you as an individual. And they want nothing more than for you to be successful representing their product. So we're in a great spot. Let's give it all we can. That's it, guys. Thanks.
Ray,
Yeah.
you're the best, brother. And you know this. You teed this up. We'll finish with the video, but the video is simply a challenge in our pre-market here. I think Ray threw it out on a call like this. He's like, "Can you have one ready by next week?" It was him and Tom. Tom, if you're out there. And the only thing I know, Ray knows this, is that in this industry, it's here and it's here. Okay? And you cannot, I don't dare try to touch someone's heart unless I can satisfy their brain first. And so hopefully these calls satisfy the need to know nutritionally that the product is there. But I thought that we would go a different direction with this initial video, because I think, like I started out with that quote from Martin Luther King, that the love is something that is very necessary, and the dignity and respect that's been missing. And so when Ray threw that challenge out, this was my default, and you'll see rep images. And I haven't really set this up properly before, Ray. I'm glad you set this up, because many of the images you see are not paid actors. They're actually our family, including relatives. Some of them don't speak English. That they will call, "Hey, did you use my feature in the video?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." You'll see my mother, my father, and some of these things are straight from their mouth in this video. So why don't we finish
Yeah.
with this video? Gratitude to everybody on the line tonight. Gratitude, Ray, for your comments, and Adam, welcome aboard. And folks, have the most blessed couple days. I'll see you on Thursday to do comp plan training.
If Israel killed Charlie Kirk, how did Tyler Robinson?
Let me change one setting here.
Sometimes it's the simplest ideas that make the biggest difference. A connection to nature, a quiet faith in the greater good, a home grounded in simplicity. It's the quintessential Italian belief that health, happiness, and food naturally intertwine. The belief that these ingredients should be blended with love and care. Now combine this with something just as essential, a belief that every person, regardless of background, deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, and deserves the chance to live up to their fullest potential. Now take this worldview and marry it with a truly unique idea at the right time. Well, that'll make people stop and pay attention. A truly unique idea has the power to change everything. It stands apart. It challenges the ordinary. And in its simplicity, it can move the world forward. That simple formula: love, health, respect, and a singular, simple, extraordinary idea. has the power to change lives in our community, in our country, and around the world. Life is short. Timing is everything. And this fall, everything begins.
Okay, thanks, folks.
Thank you, everyone. Keep an eye out for emails coming tomorrow, both a follow-up email that gives you some of the terminology that we've been sharing here on the call, and an invite for Thursday night first reveal of the comp plan. And we'll keep this NDA process in place for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll move away from that to simplify things even more. But we appreciate y'all keeping it tight and being really careful about what we're sharing with you, so that we can just keep this opportunity really tight. And I think I speak for the whole team here that we will work as hard or harder than everybody else to support you in being a customer, being a business builder, in whatever way we can to help your life be better and to help this opportunity be an incredible one for all of us, both from a health standpoint and from a business opportunity. We're here and we're going to work ourselves to the bone to make it happen for you.
Amen.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheers, folks.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Recording